All right, I'm Pops, and this is my Star Trek rewatch of this week, A Taste of Armageddon. And yes, if you want to see my real live reactions, you can check that out at the end of this video. This has a lot of dynamics. Let's talk about it. Yes, I am Pops, and yeah, I'm not a huge Star Trek guy, but I've been going through these original series rewatch reactions and trying to document the best I can with you guys. I've been appreciating Star Trek in a lot of different ways, and thanks to all of you out there been contributing to that. So, the Enterprise is basically going to be on a diplomatic mission with an actual ambassador this time. This is the ambassador, and I'm going to call him Ambassador Douchebag because he is just not believable. And this actor is like a fish out of water in this episode. He doesn't seem comfortable at all. His lines at times are terrible. The delivery is cardboard. I don't even understand his motivation. I thought maybe early in the episode it's going to be like his daughter is really on these planets or something. Some sort of like hidden personal agenda. I actually don't even understand this ambassador at all. So they beam down and they are going to be met with a group and a planet that basically has been at war for like 500 years with a sister system that's basically I don't even understand the dynamics of how this was conceived. So you basically have two planets that are at odds for 500 years. The Enterprise is coming in. They receive the message that basically they stay out, don't go, don't come down. They come down anyway. And Kirk shows up and meets all these people to basically say, hey, we're the peaceful folks. Hot chick. And then they kind of walk through and they get to meet the meeting with their sort of high council. This is this guy. And kind of have a little conversation about it. And it's kind of weird because they just immediately start reacting to the Enterprise's presence and talking about bombs going off and things of that nature, and they have to be held there. And you're like, what is going on? And in that scene, Spock and the yeoman, the Asian yeoman, I have no idea where she came from. They have no record of any of these actual attacks and things happening. So you're like, okay, so we're in like a virtual reality simulator of some kind, something like that. So about what's actually going on. Didn't quite know what the twist was going to be, but that was pretty much how that was playing out. Scotty's left in charge on the Enterprise. Love me some Scotty. Scotty's fantastic. It's a great line about now the haggis is in the fireplace, which just makes me happy. It's so funny. What a great line. He just pushes back against the diplomat. The diplomat's like, "Oh, you're gonna do this." He's like, "No, I'm not doing that." So he is great in this episode, man. James Doohan is just fantastic. Possibly one of the weirdest moments in Trek so far was out of the blue, the Velcom mind meld. It manifests in he can power of suggestion, mind manipulation through the door in the wall to one of the fish head guys. So I, I really didn't understand what was happening in this scene. It was so strange that we're just going to control this guy and open the door and get away. But I, I'm assuming this is just one of these things that the writer tried to do and it creates so many problems with previous episodes and now it creates a massive power set going forward. Like if he's able to do this, then how are you going to constrain him and deal with him all the time? So I'm glad this isn't someone that stuck around for Spock. This would have been a huge no-no. You see this in the script because it comes with a lot of consequences. You start having ability to control someone through a wall. Now you got to figure out how to contain them. Hence the reason, like a good example would be like Professor Xavier in the X-Men. You always have to deal with how powerful he is because half the battles wouldn't last very long if he was out into the wild. So, again, really cool set design. The episode always does that. Great score, do pretty well. I like the fact that the red shirts are kind of part of everything, but they're not like they're not disposed of yet. We're really not in that part of the Star Trek lore, huh? And I was kind of taken aback a little bit. So they have this. So the premise is these attacks and deaths and casualty numbers are all virtual, and then they actually have an agreement to just execute that many people that personally go into like the suicide, the disintegration machine. And the people that run that machine, they have a different sort of like shark head outfit with like a gold cover. It's not even a fin; it's more like a cover over the fin, and they wear more like a brown color. I, I was still sort of lost at this point in the episode. Like, why are we supposed to believe the other planet is doing that? What if they just what if one side doesn't do it? They claim they're doing it, but they don't do it. No one's checking. There appears to be no diplomacy, no communication between these two rivals. That's kind of the weird element that Kirk's group is thrown in the middle as sort of an aggressive player in this what should be a negotiation, but there isn't a negotiation. It's more like, well, we've always done it this way. It's such a weird dynamic. It's almost like, I mean, obviously we're going for a Vietnam metaphor here, guys. I get that, but it's such a weird dynamic to kind of shoehorn this piece in because it doesn't make any sense.
Holding, Mr. DePaul.
Screen's firm, sir.
Extremely powerful sonic vibrations.
Okay, I was confused by screens. I think he meant shields. I don't know. Is there something different than the shields? I remember in Star Trek there's only shields. So for some reason this guy said screens. So I thought, is this possibly because they're using like a sound decibel thing instead of an actual phaser? That's why they're using a screen instead of a shield. I don't know. The ship is equipped to handle both things. So you guys have to explain to me. Does the ships have screen versus shields, but screens don't come up because people don't use that type of weaponry very often? I totally didn't
You are
know this.
taking orders from me. You will lower the screens as a sign of good faith. My authority.
I know about your authority, but the screens stay up.
All right. So he said screens too. So that's kind of weird. So the screen and shields are two different things, I think. So not quite sure. I know people in chat are going to have to help me with that one. All right. Then we're subject to a whole bunch of ambassador douchebaggery stuff. And this is where the actor is just absolutely terrible. Again, you can watch my live reaction because I couldn't get past a couple of these shots, these scenes. He's absolutely terrible. I actually think these poor crewmen that are kind of thrown in, we keep changing out the red and gold shirts, and I don't know why we do that. I'll be happier when they sort of kind of decide on Chekhov and Sulu and have a more stable crew. It's easier to kind of feel for what everyone's roles should be. And then all the stuff on the planet and the whole council and how this all kind of plays out to kind of dupe the ambassador to go down there and leave Scotty to make all these horrible decisions. And I will say this, man, Scotty is like a boss in this episode. He's like, no, we're not doing that. I'm here about my captain, my crew, my ship. Yeah, this was very well done in that regard for sure. And Kirk kind of leading an uprising, having a battle with the fish head guys, and then them tricking the ambassador to get down. And I kind of had a little laugh when this guy was kind of thrown down there, by the way. He just didn't see it coming. Spock, of course, figures out how to get communication to Scotty. Then we have their sort of like the big sort of triumphant battle and sequence to kind of get some control and take things down before Kirk gets the jumps on them, and then Spock kind of rushes right in. There's a really great line here, by the way.
I'd assumed you needed help. I see I'm in error.
No, I need the help.
That is a great line. That's a great sequence. I like that a lot. See, this is the element of Trek that I really do enjoy. Not every episode even has this dynamic with Kirk and the crew and all the different personalities, especially Kirk and Spock. This is fantastic, and I wanted more of this. So this episode just has a lot of time wasted with this whole nonsense of control and what's actually going on. I just didn't really care for it. So now Kirk basically just kind of starts destroying everything and just kind of calls the bluff of the big war, the big battle, and says, y'all got to work it out now. Y'all going to work it out. And guess what? We'll give you the douchebaggery ambassador to help you. I'm like, wow, Kirk goes all in on his theory that these people have been basically cosplaying or playing video games of war and not actually facing the horrors of war. Because even though there is loss of people voluntarily going and following the rules and the order to put themselves in the disintegration machine, there's no real like casualties of war. There's no real deaths and chaos and shenanigans, and it's all too ordered. And I think that's what Kirk's point is, and it makes a lot of sense at the end when it sort of kind of plays out that way. And then he has a little bit of that conversation with Spock and the crew at the end. So all in all, I don't really care for this whole shoehorn Vietnam thing, trying to say, you know, the war will go on forever. It's this perpetual thing. I do like the idea that you have these sort of like high level politicians that do these decisions. They say all these low level people there, and they're just people that just get wasted. And it's almost like it becomes desensitized, and just I like what they're going for in a way, but it's just too muddled of a mess. And the ambassador thing was probably the biggest mistake. I don't know how the actor / the character needed to be reworked to make all of that flow a little bit better. And then, like I said, costume designs with the fish head, freaking latex shark face head things. Oh, it's terrible. And then using like a sonic weapon instead of a laser to kind of cut costs. That was very noticeable. But I got a lot of good Scotty in the chair. So yeah, it was not one I'm going to be earmarking to watch again. I'm hoping that I would remember it when I talk about, you know, politics in Trek or war messaging in Trek, because this is one of those that needs to be mentioned because it's very clear that's what they're going for. But I think that Kirk and his solution and thrusting the ambassador and all that isn't really a practical solution for the real life conflict that was in Vietnam or other wars. But that's my take on it. Love to hear from you guys. Stay tuned now. Get most of my live reaction clips here. I'll try to clip out a few of those. Hopefully you enjoy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, I am Pops. All right, I got my Dr. Pepper Zero. I got my snacks. I'm ready to watch this. A Taste of Armageddon, the latest Trek episode. Let's do this. Oh, you just know this guy's just going to be douchey. Oh, even Spock's like, who's that guy? Yeah, this guy's just terrible. He plays a jerk, and he's just a jerk. Kirk's like, no. Wait. Who's the Asian? Wait. Hold on. I got to pause that. Who's the... Oh, okay. So we have another... So now it's a red shirt yeoman. That's some Asian lady. Oh, cool. I don't know who that is. I've never seen her before. Yeah. I love more Scotties. Hopefully this episode has a lot more Scotty. All right. Hot chick of the week. Kirk's got to be excited about that. This just all just feels like phony baloney something. There's just no way this is all what I think it is. Yeah, everybody's confused. Nothing adds up. Something's going on. All right, so it's just all fake. It's also like a virtual reality, or they in the Matrix, or some sort of... All right, well, we'll see. And what is with... So the rubber head guy, the rubber hat guys, we got to talk about that. Okay, I had to rewind to this. Like, what is with these outfits? And I don't understand the whole... there's like shark fins. Like, Ironcaster should not ever see that these things exist. Like, that's crazy bad. Like, I don't understand why that was the choice. So the show does make weird choices that I don't like, where it's trying to create like odd other universes and planets and stuff like that. Instead of just having more like eccentric elements, it does something weird like this. So some sort of weird, strange costume thing. I think I'm fine with actually the weird color and dynamics of the sash, but then the color, the blue rubber shark fin doesn't even match that. So, all right. Oh, yeah, right. Like shark fin guy. Look at that shark fin guy. He has no idea what he's doing. They're like surprised to be here. Kirk should just throw down on him. That's a good transition. I like that shot. That's cool. That's a good shot. How'd they do matte painting? Uh-oh. Something's not right. Something's changed. Scotty, Bones, you gonna figure it out? Do they get to be the problem solvers in this episode? That's pretty cool. Of course you don't know, Joe. Bones, you're in over your head. Scotty's up to something. Scotty figures it out. Computer. Wait, what's happening? So, I'm confused. So, is Spock doing something through the door? Like, that's the thing? I thought he was going to trick him to come in and touch it and mind meld him or something. But we're like doing something through the door? Oh, wait. He can just make him fall asleep? This is actually really, really bad and weird. Like, I don't even understand what's happening. Like, hold on. Let me pause this for a second. So, wait a minute. So this is the thing that Spock could do the whole time? I mean, I know he makes a little comment about, oh, it's not useful or not always happening. And he used this Vulcanians. What is happening? Like, I don't understand. This is terrible. Oh, this is a horrible idea. I'm glad they got away with this and didn't keep this as a concept within like the Spock lore. Again, I always like the lighting. They try to use like something generic and just add a whole bunch of cool lights to it. That's not bad. Oh, these are like the disintegration things that they talked about earlier. Little sliding door. That's funny. Oh, look, it spins around. I had to pause it on the goldfin hats. The goldfin hats. So like goldfin covers on the over there, shark fins, and they get to be in charge of disintegration and run the gold light. Wow. And they have more like a brown sash. So brown sash and gold is the executioners. Oh, we're back to douchebaggery guy. All right, so this guy's just terrible. This poor actor. I don't know who he is. I don't know who this guy is. The bags under the eyes too. Like, they just chose a very odd person to play this character, and their ambassador things in the Federation in this era are just awful humans. This guy is the least personable person to be an ambassador. I feel like it's like a Lindsey Graham in U.S. politics version. It's like he feels like a warmonger more than he does a peace person. This makes no sense whatsoever. I do like seeing Scotty. More Scotty. If you'll check your regular... He can't even say the line. Like, this guy is terrible. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, he's so bad. Maybe he's like a stage actor and he's just in the wrong show. I don't know the story. Like, this dude's like, he's not, he is He's stiff as a board. He's like, and if you just read your regulations, like, yeah, that's terrible. Oh dear Lord, that was horrible. Oh, that's bad. This is all just kind of boring and tedious at this point. Oh, Scotty, just do your thing, man. Don't listen to this guy. I like the fact that Scotty's disobeying this guy's order. He's a douchebag. He's supposed to be somebody you don't like. All right, well, there's got to be a trap or something going down for sure. There's no way this is going. What's with the weird statues? Oh man, that's kind of weird. Wait, did he just like do like the finger thing? Like come over here? Oh man, get him, Kirk. That's what everybody wants. Just more Kirk fighting. Douchebag guy finding out that it's for real. Oh, that's funny. All right, now we got it figured out. Spock's got Scotty on the comms. Let's get this figured out. Why did they go with like a sonic thing? That's a good line though. Practiced a peculiar type of diplomacy, sir. Good job, Spock. That's good stuff. I don't get the phaser guns. I don't. Yeah, we just didn't want to do any special effects, so we just called it something else for this week. I like to just unleash shenanigans on everybody and just he's got it all figured out. Kirk's like chess move and strategy here sure has to pay off, or he just looks like a complete crazy person. Ah, I see what you did there. See what you guys did there.